I would like to call the regular meeting of the Plymouth Board of Education of September 10th, 2025 to order at 7:02 p.m. Please join us in pledging to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item number 2. Before we adopt the agenda, I would like to entertain a motion to amend the agenda as follows, to switch item number 4, which is a presentation of our 5-year strategic plan, and to place that after number 7, the superintendent's update. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Showers, Mr. Foote, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Then I would like to entertain a motion to adopt the amended agenda.
So moved.
Second.
So Mr. Showers, Mr. Foote, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. All right. So now we are moving on to item number 3, approval of the minutes. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of the Plymouth Board of Education retreat and superintendent's update of August 20th, 2025, and the minutes of the regular meeting of the Plymouth Board of Education of August 20th, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. Foote,
Second.
Mr. Showers, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, now we are moving on then to item number 5, student representatives. Welcome,
Hi.
ladies.
We hope everybody had a great summer. The Terryville Fair had a fantastic turnout this year, and THS students were heavily involved. Over at the Friends of Music potato booth, we had over 40 band and chorus members, plus a squad of awesome parent volunteers who sold over 1,200 baked potatoes. That's a lot of carbs.
Wow, potatoes.
All the money raised supports the THS Friends of Music Association, so technically eating potatoes was a noble cause. The THS Leo Club also stepped up with 12 students volunteering to run various activities like home and garden, food, and children's activities. The Booster Club lemonade stand had a great student participation too. It was a sweet success.
Our fall sports teams have been thriving this year. Participation is way up. So much so that the girls' volleyball team, which I'm proud to be a part of, has 26 players. That's the biggest it's been in 12 years. The cross-country team is also gaining momentum, literally. For the first time in a few years, they have enough runners to compete as a full team. They've been working hard and logging miles, even though most of us would only run that far 7 years ago. Boys and girls soccer have also had early wins this season. They've shown great teamwork, determination, and probably some sore muscles too.
Students have been adjusting well to the new school year and waking up early again. Our freshmen are acclimating successfully, and I've yet to see someone walk into the wrong room, which is always awkward. Students seem to like the gradual transition into the year, having this be our first 5-day week.
For upcoming events, we have the freshman and sophomore classes are hosting a community-wide back-to-school carnival this Friday, September 12th, on the THS soccer field. The event will start at 6 p.m. and include games, concessions, and prizes. It's going to be lots of fun for the whole family.
My class, the class of 2026, had our first senior activity on September 2nd. The majority of the grade arrived in the school parking lot at 5:45 in the morning to watch the sunrise. It'll probably be the only day for the rest of the school year that we're early. But after a beautiful sunrise, many students drove with their friends to McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts for a not-so-nutritional breakfast. After speaking with several students, they all agree that the event brought our class together.
The music department isn't missing a beat this year. We've hit the ground running with several exciting events coming up. First, we have the Yukon Band Day on September 20th. The marching band and color guard will join the Yukon marching band at Rensselaer Field.
Yeah.
Students will get to perform in a college stadium. The Big E Parade follows that on September 26th. The marching band and color guard will perform in the Big E Parade in front of thousands of people. No pressure, right? Next is the Bristol Mum Festival Parade on September 28th. The marching band and color guard will perform in the annual Mum Parade.
Following that is the Berkshire League Music Festival on October 1st and October 10th. Several talented band and chorus students will head to Lewis Mills High School to represent Terryville High School. It's a great opportunity to showcase the musical skills of Terryville. As a proud member of the Color Guard, I can say we're all super excited to be back in action. I can't wait to get back to twirling, safely of course. No eyes have been poked out yet, and we like to keep it that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, very nice. Thank you for the update, ladies, and the funny way you presented it. I caught all those little jokes.
Thank you.
You guys are both seniors?
No,
I'm a junior.
A junior and a senior?
senior.
Okay, just making sure. And then just, what do you do for fun, just so the board can get to know
For-
you?
You wanna go first,
Outside of
Kiana?
being
You.
a board representative, what do
Okay.
you do for fun?
A whole lot of things, actually. I am the student council president this year, which is how I'm here, and Tiana's the vice president, so we're working together. I also am a 3-season varsity athlete from cross country, indoor track, and outdoor track. I quite enjoy running. I also, what else do? I do a whole ton of things. I'm in Leo's Club, which is one of the groups that helped with the fair. I'm the treasurer for them. I quite enjoy Leo's Club, and I really like volunteering and getting involved in our community, which is another reason why I'm here. What else? Yes, I'm in Pep Club too. We plan the pep rallies, and we make sure it's a fun, exciting theme. I think pep rallies really get our school united and involved, and people who aren't normally in clubs are more likely to come just to make a fun poster, but then that will lead them to join other activities besides pep club. So Tiana's in a whole lot of things too.
I'm in almost the same amount of clubs as Fallon,
Yeah.
if not the exact same. I'm also a 3-sport varsity athlete, but I don't like running as much as her. I do volleyball, basketball, but I also do track. But I'm a thrower, not a long distance runner like her. Yeah, one of my favorite clubs that I'm in is I really like Unified Buddies. It's our club where we combine the special education with the normal education, and we do like events. We sometimes partner with Thomaston. Like last year, one of our events was we had a semi-formal dance with them. It was pretty fun. Not a good dancer though, so.
It's a nice job.
Thank
Very
you
nice
so
job.
much. If you have
Absolutely.
any questions, please ask away or save them for next time. We'd love to answer.
Anyone have any questions for our student reps?
I loved all the
Little puns.
yeah.
Our puns, yes.
adjectives at it.
We're sprinkling some new things in this year.
Well, ladies, you are welcome to stay for the
Thank
entire
you
meeting.
so
and
much.
you are also welcome to go if you have pressing things to do.
Not a lot of homework to get
A lot of homework.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to item number 6, public comment. We will start with in-person public comment. Please join us at the podium, write your name down, and then state your name and address for the record.
Melanie Church, 328 Main Street. The reason I'm coming forward, in all the years I've been in this town, whenever we've needed roofs, there's grants by the Board of Ed, the State Board of Ed. And we've ended up with them from there. And the thing of it is that's to me an important issue. And I'm going back 20 years ago. But even when we were closing Main Street School and Prospect Street School, we got brand new roofs put on there. And it did not come out of the taxpayer. Because we have roads and other things that really need to be done. And, you know, these have been ignored for 12 years. And that's that's the only reason I'm bringing it up. And we got to start looking at stuff and working as a village. Hope I'm making sense.
Yeah.
But I know over the years, even before this school was built, they were getting them in buildings that we weren't even going to keep open. Also, the capital improvements I've been following that. And if you read what the ad hoc committee, we're not following it. And it's supposed to be the council who makes the final decision, not the vice chair of the Board of Ed. And that's what we're running into, and she's already, this was the plan, and this is to start next year.
Clarification.
Huh?
Vice chair of the Board of Ed?
No, of the Board of Finance.
Okay.
And she's starting next year's budget, because I notified the sewer department as soon as I learned about it. And I know they will be there, and they weren't invited. So it's important, even if somebody goes, even with the list to the meeting tomorrow, you know, you've got your stuff in there. You know, that's what I would do. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Tony Rivero from 67 Watchtower Road. Not really public comment. I just want to introduce myself as I'm your liaison from the town council.
Nice.
I was appointed about 4 months ago. I apologize that this is the first meeting I've made, but there have been other meetings that I've had conflicts with from my previous involvement with the Wetlands Commission. I'll be seeing you folks regular. If you have any questions or anything you want me to specifically to mention at a town council meeting and you can't make it, please talk to me and I'll be glad to bring it up for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, is there any online public comment?
Not at this time.
All right. Let's move on to item 7, superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. We had a great opening to the school year. At our 2 elementary schools, we had a number of orientations and open houses before the school year starts so the children could meet their teachers, get to know the school with their parents, and feel more comfortable walking in that first day. We also had orientations before the year started in our transition years with grade 6 and grade 9. In all of our schools, our teachers completed activities to kind of get the students feeling comfortable in school, transitioning them back to school, and resetting the norms of being back in school and not being off for summer break. The buildings looked great. We had minimal concerns with our buses and transportation. The faculty was energized and the students were excited. So it has been a great kickoff to our 2025-2026 school year. But as the board is aware, at the same time we were preparing to open our school, we were also looking for a principal for Plymouth Center School with Kim Loveland leaving. And whoever we hired in would have big shoes to fill in filling in for Kim Loveland. But I'm confident that we've selected the perfect person for Plymouth Center School. As I shared at our last meeting, we held 3 rounds of interviews. The first round was with the Plymouth Center faculty and staff, Mr. Bobanier from the board, and myself and Mrs. Malillo. And then the second round, for the people that moved on, was in front of our administrative team, and a performance task had to be completed and presented. And then in the final round, the final 2 candidates interviewed in front of the Board of Education. I want to thank you for the whole process and how it went. It was done in a very professional manner, and we chose Stacy Kalo, the current principal right now of Lee H. Kellogg School in Region 1, to be our new principal at Plymouth Center. Unfortunately, Stacy couldn't be here this evening because it is her own open house in her school that she's still running. But my plan is to bring her to the next board meeting in October to introduce her to the community. She will be at the faculty meeting for Plymouth Center tomorrow, and she is hopefully going to be able to be at their first half-day professional development on September 25th. So that's our goal moving forward. And finally, it's pretty short for me tonight because I have some other speaking to do, but I'd like to welcome the student representatives, Fallon and Tiana. I appreciate them being here and giving their time, and I look forward to hearing their reports every month.
All right, that brings us to item number 4, presentation of our 5-year strategic plan. Mr. Falcone.
All right, I brought notes up with me because I didn't know if I'll be able to see the board and read off the screen, but I think I should be okay. So working with the administrative team, and we were hoping that, we're waiting for one board member. I was hoping she would be here by now to hear the whole presentation, but I can give her a recap.
She's on her
later.
way in right now.
Is she? Then I'm going to stall.
Yep. Just saw her as you said that.
Did you?
We're just starting. Come in.
I saw, but I'm stalling for you. I'm going to have Beth Malone sing a song for us while we're waiting.
Is it like 7:18?
It is 7:18. Yeah.
So, working with the administrative team, we created a 5-year strategic plan for our school district. The reason why we created a 5-year strategic plan is because we had requests from board members and we had requests from the community to create a long-term plan for improvement for our district. The challenge with the 5-year plan, and why we've really never had one before, is a lot of what you're going to see is based on our budget and the funding that we get to put these initiatives and improvements in place. And so that's why in the past, as far as and as long as I know from working in this district for the past 20 years on and off, we've never really had a strategic plan that went over a year because you have to see the budget you get and make the adjustments to try to make the improvements to the district. But there are benefits, and it's right on the board, of having a 5-year strategic plan. And for the board, just so you know, in front of you, you have the presentation. It's different than the actual 5-year strategic plan, which I'll hand to you in a little bit, okay? So the purpose of the strategic plan is it provides a clear roadmap that aligns to our goals for us to improve that we're unified on. Not only are we unified on and understand, but the community as a whole understands why we're moving in the direction, why we're asking for certain things within our budget to improve the overall learning experience for our students from pre-K through our transition program, 22 years old. And if you notice in this message that I have here, in blue, I have highlighted our 4 goals because they're embedded all throughout the strategic plan. The presentation I'm going to do for you this evening focuses on the key outcomes related to our district goals, and I'll talk about that, and the annual milestones accomplished. That centerpiece with the strategic initiatives, we're not going to cover right now, but it's going to be in your plan for you to read through. And I'll talk about each of those right now. The key outcomes for our district goals, that's looking at from 2025 to 2030, what we're looking to accomplish. And I've broken it up in the plan by each of our goals. So you have our 4 goals, what we're looking to accomplish in student achievement, student engagement, student well-being, and fiscal oversight for the district. So that's the first thing you're going to see, and we're going to cover that in the presentation. The meat and potatoes of the actual strategic plan is the hard part. Because we could talk about what we want to do and how great we can be, but it's how we're going to get there. And that really falls with the strategy of how we're going to accomplish it, how we're going to monitor the progress, and who's responsible for accomplishing those things and bringing those things into our district. But that's in the plan. You don't have that in front of you today, and I'm not going to cover that. That's not for you to look at as you look at the draft of this plan. And then you have the annual milestones that are accomplished. This breaks up the years. So in year 1, what are we looking to accomplish? In year 2, what are we looking to accomplish? So on for the next 5 years. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm starting with student achievement. That's our first goal. And the first thing you're going to notice are some items are in yellow or on your sheet are highlighted and some are in white. The items that are in yellow are all based on funding and budget. And what you're going to see as part of our improvement plan is that we're missing some basic components of a school district. I could give you those examples as we go, but I'll give you some very basic examples. We don't have a social worker in our primary elementary school. We don't have a counselor in our 3-5 school. We don't have a library media specialist in 2 of our 4 schools. I'm not asking for the world. These are basics in running a school that we don't have in place right now. So this plan is going to cover what we can definitely do, which is in white, and what is dependent on the budget that's in yellow. So between now and 2029 and 2030, if we don't have certain pieces funded, we cannot accomplish those goals, and we'll have to push them off in our plan as we go. So if you take a look, we have first in yellow an alternative high school program. So we have students at our high school that are not succeeding in the traditional high school format. And so we have some students that will not graduate on time or will not graduate at all. So we're looking to put in an alternative high school program. We need a certified person to do that. Next, we have reading intervention program at Terryville High School and math intervention program at Terryville High School. That goes along with the aligned MTSS, which is the last thing in yellow, process in K-12. So we have interventionists, that's students that are struggling to be on grade level in math and reading. We have interventionists from kindergarten all the way through grade 8. Our MTSS, which is our tier intervention support, is aligned, or mostly aligned right now, from kindergarten through grade 8. The only way we could put this through grade 12 is if we hire an interventionist, which is a certified teacher, at the high school level and for math and for reading. We could probably get away with a tutor at the high school level, but we need to hire someone to take the intervention program here at the high school to align our intervention services K through 12. And then we also have in yellow universal pre-K for all the 4-year-olds in town. That should be our goal to, one, identify children at a younger age, if possible, for any sort of needs that they might have, but also to better prepare our kids in a common way for kindergarten. And then when you go through the white lettering and the stuff that's not highlighted on your sheet, you see items that the budget is not dependent on. So we have now put in a formative IXL assessment calendar so we can track our kids from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year to the end of the year and see their success and kind of modify and adjust our instruction accordingly. So we put that in this year. We have a scope and sequence that we're trying to put in place for all of the courses we teach at our high school and middle school level and all of our grade levels so that we could begin truly having some sort of curriculum for each subject that we teach in our schools. This is the starting point, scope and sequence with various links that connect the teacher to the assignments and what needs to be done. And then we have the last two is really meeting or exceeding the state average on our state testing, not only for our regular ed population, but also for our subgroups that we have. And there are a bunch of different subgroups from male to female to the different racial differences that students have. Those are our subgroups, and it's to meet and exceed those state averages on those scores. So that's student achievement. But as I said, we have to break this up over a 5-year period. And again, you see the yellow follows us through this presentation because everything in yellow is what we had originally with those outcomes that are budget related. But you can see on this sheet what we plan on doing each year to chip away at our overall student academic achievement. And again, on the full plan, you'll see the strategies that we plan on utilizing and who's responsible for those items. Are there any questions with regard to student achievement prior to me moving on to the next goal of the Board of Education?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many pre-K classrooms would we need in order to welcome all of the 4-year-olds in Plymouth?
We're looking at 3 more right now.
3 more than
3
what we have
additional
currently.
classrooms. So we have right now, we have 2 full day and 1 half day, so morning and afternoon session. We would need 3 more. And I think Beth would argue with me maybe 4, but right in this plan, we have 3.
Okay.
And understanding that the pre-K classroom is not just a teacher, it's a paraprofessional. It's outfitting the room to have the bathroom that has to be in there, and it's the supplies for those rooms and the furniture for the room. So it's a pretty big undertaking.
Okay.
I had a question about the alternative ed. I know that there are, we're a small district. Are there other districts or through Ed Advance? I know they have some programs. Is there a way that we can partner with either a larger school district or another small school district, or with our Resc Alliance to kind of maybe come up with some ideas to not have to have a full-time program at our school, but maybe we can do some sending out to other places?
Absolutely. And so, Kelly, I met with the superintendent from Wilkett,
Okay.
Watertown, and Thomaston originally. And we had conversations about how we can share special ed services through all 4 of our districts, such as the transition program or our challenging behavior program, or our program that deals with students with significant need. It's just never picked up traction. And I don't know if it's because of transportation reasons or if it's just easier to keep students in-house. I'm not, with regard to that, I have it highlighted as yellow. I would like to think outside the box on how we can make that happen as well, because a lot of times an alternative high school program is not a full day either. Right. So how can we cover it internally and utilize the right programs, usually online programs, to help support our kids to gather the credits they might be missing or recovering. So, yes.
Do we have any costs associated with these goals?
So, I mean, if you're looking at a certified teacher, it would be the cost of a certified teacher. So if it's a brand new teacher, which, it is possible to get a brand new teacher, you're talking approximately a $50,000 salary, and then we'd have to estimate benefits in there at probably about $30,000. So you're talking about $80,000 minimal per position. And that, am I correct on that?
No, you're about right.
I mean, that's on the low side for sure.
I mean, that's where you are for the pre-K. When you start to talk about your other certified teachers, it's going to be more than that. We're talking about math or
Oh, absolutely.
math or language arts intervention. You're going to be talking about, that's going to be the top of the line.
Yeah. So I mean, there's you could figure $80,000 to $100,000 probably per position.
Right. So, I mean, even looking at pre-K, you want to add universal pre-K with 3 classrooms. You're looking at what, $240,000 right off the top with the individual that's coming in at the lower pay scale, utilizing a certain portion of the benefits.
And as Brian said, it's more than that, because that's just the certified staff. You're not including the paraprofessional that's going to have to be in the room, right?
Right. So you're probably looking at initial start about, conservatively, about $300,000.
Maybe more than that, but
Even more than that.
I know that's not called the school readiness grant. What did they call it now? Early start?
Smart Start.
Start. I knew it had something with start in it. Is there available funds that we can try to
Yes.
apply for with that to defray some of that cost?
It's $75,000. We could apply for another. We have $75,000, and we could apply for another $75,000. The problem with that is they're not approving it until over the summer. So you almost have to hire the person, budget for the person, Smart Start comes in, and it just, you're finding out so late.
Right.
So but it's a great question. There's also, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, they're just also not guaranteeing the funding after 26, 27, or 27, 28. So you know it's that.
There you go.
I know, but when I taught preschool back in the 90s, that grant has just changed names a bunch of times, and I think Connecticut is pretty committed to some sort of. It may not be as much or, as it was, but that grant has been in place for 25 plus years in some form or another.
The other thing, talking with the FRC, is bringing them back to Plymouth Center School and aligning their program with our programs to try to give kids, again, that common experience. And so that's another thing that I've already met with them, talked with them, and we're going to start planning for that in February of next year, of the 26th of March of 26. So this school year, but
And is there any
transition.
conflict of interest, because I know that the Head Start that was in town closed down? Is that because it's a federal program, we couldn't offer them space in the school for them to run their program? Is that a conflict of, I don't know if it would or not be a conflict?
It's with the FRs. They have to be in a school.
Okay.
And so I'm uncertain if, and I think they came to me and had this meeting, because I'm uncertain if Main Street will remain a school after this year. It's an ed advanced building. I don't know what their future plans are for the building. I actually do know what their future plans are for the building, and it's not going to be a school. So they need a home. And so we're going to give them a home in our school. And then we're going to try to align things the best we can with our new
They
principal.
used to be in Plymouth Center.
They were taken out during COVID
Okay.
for classroom space.
Okay.
So, Jerry, I just want to get back to your point. I wouldn't start adding up the costs just yet, because what you're going to see with this plan, if we're really looking to improve our district, you're going to see that we have a lot of needs. And all of these needs, based on the funding we're going to receive realistically, might not come around while any of us are sitting around this table or on the superintendent. This plan is a 5-year plan that will be extended over time based on the hiring that has to take place and what pieces we need to put into this puzzle to get us to the level of that gentleman that said, why aren't we a top 100 school? That's what this is going to show, and that's what a 5-year strategic plan should show. That maybe the $27 million budget should be a $30 million budget.
So to increase on what you were saying, but wasn't it 2 years ago when Governor Lamont was basically advocating for a universal pre-K that was going to be put into the state budget so that school systems would not necessarily incur a huge amount of cost associated with putting a program in like that, but the state would offset some of that cost. Now, whether it was 100% or whether it was 50%, I don't recall, but I do believe it was 2 years ago that he advocated for that.
Yeah, and I think the compromise is adding what Kelly said, additional Smart Start grants. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, I think that might be where we are with this, with his original proposal. And when it actually got down to what it is, it's districts that apply could possibly get $75,000 to cover the cost of their pre-K classroom, an additional pre-K classroom. Because there's a lot of flaws in the statement that we're going to have universal pre-K throughout, because not all school districts have the space for pre-K in their schools, or even us, we don't have the bathrooms in the classrooms for the kids. So it would be a significant hardship on the town. So, are there any other questions though? Again, we can go to the finance. When you see the last slide, I think it puts things in perspective.
Can you just explain what the alternative high school program is? Is that like those night classes that you used to be able to take to not get a GED but still get a diploma? Or
No, it's more like the kids would come in during the school day, and we would look and work with our counselors and our mental health professionals, and we would look at their transcript on what's missing or what they might have not passed. And we would build credit recovery and some online courses in working with teachers to try to help build the credit hours they need to graduate from high school. So it would be during the school day while we have our mental health professionals here, our administration here, and our teachers. It would be something that might take place in the room next to the library or within the library in the back corner where we were earlier for our meeting, where it's more one-to-one and that kind of interaction with the person that's in charge. Anything else? So goal 2 is student engagement. And again, you'll see on student engagement a number of items that are in yellow. And I'll be the first to admit 2 of these items are kind of wish list items. The first isn't. To have 2 schools in our district that don't have library media specialists, that's a pretty important piece. And when a library and media center is run the right way, it's kind of the central hub for the school. So right now, Fisher Elementary and Eli Terry do not technically have library media specialists. We split the high school person between the schools, and she's doing the best she can with Mike Holtz and Darren Vigliotti working the schedule the best they can to align services for her. And then at Fisher, we have a tutor in place in the library, not a certified library media specialist. But when we talk about the work they should be doing with our kids with social media and with online safety and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a full curriculum they should be covering with our kids. We just don't have those pieces. The next 2 in yellow, I'd say, are more of a luxury piece where I would want some sort of a cultural learning / exploratory language program in our elementary schools. And then at our high school and middle school, and again, this isn't a make it or break it. This is more of the least priority. I would want to offer another language besides Spanish. Because I feel like if we're looking at student engagement, we should offer at least one more language for students to choose from. And I'm just going to go back to when I was the high school principal here. We offered French, we offered Spanish, we offered Japanese, we offered Dutch, and one other language. Now, one person spoke 3 of them, but we still had Spanish and French as options for our students in the middle school and the high school. And I would like to get back to that if at all possible. But again, those 2 are kind of wish list items. But in white, we have increased job shadowing opportunities, post-secondary pathways. What that means is looking at how we could combine college credit and high school credit classes, AP classes, things like that for our students, community partnerships in all of our schools, doing things for the Lions Club or the Rotary Club or just the town and community food pantry. And then increase I already said that one, sorry, and then include performance tasks and authentic learning experiences into our curriculum. When we talk about engaging kids, make them understand why they're doing what they're doing and when they'll ever use that in their lives. So some subjects it's easier than others, but I think that's an important strategy and goal that we should have for our district. And then when you break it down, again, you see the yellow that's embedded in there, but this breaks down the year by year what we should accomplish in these areas. Again, this is all fluid, and this is a draft for the board to work on, and I'll go over that toward the end. Any questions on student engagement? I'm going to move on to student well-being. If you have any questions, just let me know. So this is our 3rd goal, student well-being. And you see, again, a number of items in yellow. Health education programs in each of our schools. So we have PE teachers that are certified in health, but especially now with everything going on in children's lives and what they've been exposed to in different ways, whether it be through having their parents' device or tablet or social media, I think health education programs are essential in all of our schools. And so I have that up there. The next one is one of my priorities, and I really fought and did everything I could last year to get this in there. We just didn't have the funding, is to put someone in charge of safety in all of our schools throughout the school day. I'm not talking about an armed security person. I'm talking someone that is looking out for the safety of the building. So, for example, you have a principal being a principal. You have an administrative assistant with the secretary being a secretary. You have teachers being teachers. Someone looking out at the cameras, someone making sure all the doors are locked, someone walking the building to make sure it's secure during the school day when our children are in school. So that's up there. Expand the wellness supports in our elementary schools. Those are the two positions I talked to you about, the social worker at Plymouth Center and the school counselor at Fisher Elementary. Those are essential positions for our kids in those schools. Additional main office support in both elementary schools. The thing about that is, I know we had a dean of students at Main Street School in the past, but the reality is, if we're going to put in universal pre-K, we need someone to coordinate that. Pre-K is a beast. It's an animal. And you have certification in that. I mean, it is a large task to throw that onto a building principal who's in charge of K2 as well. And so that position I looked at as being split between both schools as a dean of students to help out Stephanie Satow with PPTs, 504s, evaluations, discipline, and then on the other end, to be there for the preschool programs at Plymouth Center to offset some of the work for that principal. And then to increase student extracurricular activities. We did that this year in the teacher contract. And so when you look at it in the timeline, you'll see the next teacher contract that comes up, I have that embedded there because I would like to still chip away and offer more for our kids after school and their after school programming. And then in the white, you have social, emotional well-being, kind of a sense of belonging for all our kids. And that bullet kind of aligns with the bottom bullet of decrease in suspensions. When we create a school climate where kids want to be there and feel like they belong, really the suspensions should decrease. Family engagement opportunities across all of our schools, we need to increase those. I know that's been a hot topic up here at this podium. Faculty and staff well-being initiatives. We put some of those things in place, but just showing small ways that we appreciate the people that work here and all they do for us. And then creating student leaders and having them lead wellness and things that are good for the community activities. We have it here at the high school. We started it recently. I want to kind of embed that into all of our schools. And then there's the timeline we're talking about as well that aligns to each of those accomplishments that we had. Any questions with regard to well-being?
Just a question on that, health. I know right now, the secondary students do PE, physical education, and wellness health together. What's the like state requirements for like half a year, 2 credits? Like what kind of
Beth, is it? We've been removed from the high school credit requirements for graduation for 4 years now, so.
I'm just thinking like if there's a wellness teacher and we're offering this class, but if the students don't need those credits to graduate, is that going to be something that like their classes won't be full or, you know, and you understand where I'm
I
going
think
with
what
that?
I envision in this is similar to what I had at my former high school where I had a health teacher and 2 PE teachers. What it did is it took the health components off of the PE teachers.
Mhm.
So we were offered more elective classes.
Yeah.
So we did specific weight training classes for kids. So we were able to offer more in the physical education department because someone took the health off their hands. So that's how I envision it. It doesn't answer your question with the credits, but it's kind of what I pictured.
It looks like physical education and wellness is 1 credit for graduation.
And then at the middle school, that's like a full year of like 50-50 split or something.
Yeah, I would say probably. It depends on how it would fit into the schedule that they're running, that Mr. Vigliotti's running there,
Okay.
and how we could infuse that in as the kids all would circulate through it.
But
One
they
of the-
would have either health or physical education for the full year, all 3 years in the middle school,
Yes.
right? Because it's,
Yep.
that's just
Absolutely.
whatever the requirement is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I think part of what I eventually want to go to in middle school is almost kind of a life skills with some of the things that they're doing to prepare them for when they're older and they might be home alone. So you have, Jenny Fowler teaching the foods class, like basic things on how to work a kitchen. And then you have the health teacher that helps them with like kind of their own self and how to take care of when they do get frustrated or what they do, how they get overwhelmed. And then you have, our tech ed teacher with just basic things like how to paint the wall, like small things that they can do and learn. I would think that's somewhere I would like to go. And if it's not at the middle school, even at the high school, how many kids do we have? I have 2 brothers. They both don't know how to paint. I don't know if they're faking it, so I have to paint everything in my mom's house right now. But they both don't know how to paint, supposedly. But those are some skills you should really learn while we have you. So.
Well, I will say after the family and consumer science was removed from here, neither my brother nor my sister learned how to sew buttons on when a shirt fell off or button fell off one of their shirts. And that's like,
It's
that's
a
one
basic.
of the skills that I learned from Mrs. What was her name that used to be here? Mrs. Petrin.
I had Mrs. Rio. I was thinking, but no, it's another life skill that is important. So, any other questions with regard to well-being? All right. So, the fiscal oversight is the smallest, but that second bullet is packed with everything. So, the top bullet is a new pre-K through grade 2 playground. So. Right now, as I just shared with our facilities committee before this meeting, when we redistricted and reconfigured how our schools run, that playground at Plymouth Center is a 3-5 playground, grade 3 through 5. And now we don't even have 3-5 at that school. So the little ones can't use certain pieces of that equipment. We are having a number of injuries. And so we really need to replace that playground. I'm working on some things to do that behind the scenes, and until I have some more definites, I'll be able to share that with the board as time goes on. But that is one of our priorities for our little ones over at Plymouth Center. And we've done some work, but we have more to do. And then that next bullet is the loaded one. It's budgetary alignment with enrollment shifts, instructional priorities, and infrastructure plans. Basically, that's everything. Because this is fiscal oversight. This is if we need a teacher, we need to budget for a teacher. If we need a new playground, we need to budget for a new playground. If we want to put in extracurricular activities, we need to budget for it. So that all falls in there, and that's why this list is small. Don't worry, the next list is very large. And then you have a 5-year capital improvement plan. Matt has worked hard to take our 10-year plan that we had and condense it into 5 so it aligns with this plan, our strategic plan. And then we have to try to be more efficient with our budgeting and working with the town and the community about how we spend our money the right way. And we're trying. We sit there all the time trying to figure out how we can do this for less. And so that's the last piece up there for key outcomes. But you'll notice under fiscal oversight, everything's yellow basically. Because every one of those pieces in yellow that you saw before falls here. These are all the positions that we would need to hire to make this 5-year plan possible. So as I said to Jerry earlier, there's no way in the world we're going to get funded to put all these pieces in place. But we have to and part of a strategic plan is to let the community know. So there is not a question of, why aren't you in the top 100? Well, we're missing these pieces. Like, it's all here for people to see what the plan is, but we need to have the funding to go along with it. But there's also the reality of being able to afford that as a community. So we have to just chip away, but it's all here. And some things might slide to the next years as we go on. but at least the community sees the big plan of trying to get us to that next level as a school district. So here are the next steps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you the full plan. This is just my presentation. That has the strategies. It has the monitoring and how we're going to monitor the progress of these strategies being implemented and who's responsible. And on that, I also highlighted in yellow the items that cost money, just so you would see it for yourself because it is a draft. But the board needs to review this plan and then make revisions to this plan. They need to add things, take them away, or make modifications. This is something that has to be approved by the board. This isn't Brian Falcone's plan. This isn't the administrative team's plan. This is the Board of Education's plan to move our school forward in the next 5 years. And then when we're comfortable as a group, the board would then have to adopt that strategic plan, knowing that it will have to be revised annually based on the budget and circumstances that we're up against. I don't believe that the items that were in white will have to be revised. I believe it's the items in yellow that were possibly not funded for moving forward will have to be adjusted as we go through. And so with regard to reviewing the strategic plan, you're going to get a copy today to take a look at on your own. And then, Karen, I don't know if the board wants to hold a retreat and have a discussion about it and have like a work session, or if we want this to run through a committee, or if we want to just do it as a whole board in open session. However, it's open session either way. But if you wanted to do it at a regular board meeting, that's really up to the board on how you want to move forward with reviewing this and making the revisions to the document. But first things first, I have to give you the document.
Okay.
So, okay. Any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
All right. That brings us to item number 8, unfinished business. Board of Education meeting dates for the calendar year 2026. This is a motion item. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the Board of Education meeting dates for the calendar year 2026.
So moved.
Mr. Showers,
Second.
second Mr. Foote. Any discussion?
Are there any changes? It's the
No.
same ones we already got,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, next item is the landscaping contract. Prior to the board meeting, each board member received a copy of the 3-year landscaping contract with Wygant Construction. You should have that in your manila folder. Wygant Construction and Maintenance Services, LLC, for a period beginning January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2029. This item is now open for discussion.
Just for clarification,
Sorry.
this contract was not in your folder. It was given to you at the
Oh.
interviews that we did for the principal. So you all had it for a good week to take a look at and
Yeah,
ask
in the
questions on. Oh, that folder.
Yeah,
I thought
that's,
you- I
it was,
thought you were
it was
talking
given to
about
us in a folder,
your board
right?
your board
Yeah.
packet,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I'm
I
like,
guess-
wait a minute, did I say
I,
something
no, I
wrong?
guess you're right. I apologize.
That's okay. Yeah, the folder.
Sorry.
All right, any discussion on the contract?
Who's going first? Okay. All right, sorry, took a lot of notes on this. So this contract was put into place prior to my getting on the board. So from my understanding, it actually was a 2-year contract with 2 one-year renewals, correct? And now the expiration date is December of this year. So my concern is in looking at the policy, it's pretty clear in our policy, special and professional services, 50,000 or more need to go to formal competitive proposals. I'm not sure if 90 days, like, can you explain, because I'm not familiar with that process, like, what is the timeline on, like, I know I read something about you have to post it to the website for 10 days, and then, like, how long do you people have to apply, and do we have enough time at this point to put it out to bid with 3 months before it expires, or?
We can do that. There is enough time to do that.
Okay.
So we have to put the RFP together.
Yeah.
That really wouldn't take very long because I simply would use the RFP that I used
The last
for this contract, amend it, and then we have to post it on our website. Typically, we post it in some sort of news media.
Okay.
Okay. Usually that costs about $1,000 or so, roughly, to post that. And then relative to how long it's open for, that is up to us in the RFP process. Typically, you have it, once you post it, you can ask for a response in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever that is. You get your response, they're opened, and then a recommendation is made, typically by me, of which of the things that you would want to work with.
I believe last time you had all contractors come on a certain date,
Yes.
look at all the grounds, explain all the responsibilities.
Yep, that's all part of the process.
Yeah.
So, and this was our only bid,
Okay.
just so that you know.
Well, I guess what I'm just wondering is because 2 years ago, there were like $20,000 in extra expenses. And then last year there was like 70,000, and this contract, and I'm not saying they're not doing a great job, but I'm just wondering if either we can consider maybe some of those things that cost us extra being added to the contract, or if we should see if there's somebody else who will do all those extra things. Because when I see a number like that, I'm thinking that's a teacher, So like, I just don't know if we should be.
So you brought that up the last time, so let me
Right.
just let you know. So in 22-23, we spent $177,000.
Yeah.
And $76. The additional things that we paid. So the first part is we paid Wygant additional money because in the first year of the contract, it was a truncated year.
Okay.
Okay, so we paid from January to June, we paid more in a monthly fee because it was a truncated time in the first year.
Okay.
So that's part of that additional money. I knew that was going to happen, and it kind of washed itself out from switching from one year to the next.
Okay.
But we paid $6,000 additional to Wygant to repair and bring all of our fields, the fields here and the fields down at Eli, and then also the field that's behind Fisher. All of them were in serious need of additional fill and turf because they were in such bad shape that they needed to be repaired. So that's not part of the landscaping contract, but when they started to work on the fields, they came to me and said, listen, this is what we're coming up against. In order for this, particularly the high school field, in order for this to be safe for your players, we need to do this, 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 and this. We agreed at the time that they're already working on the fields. It makes sense for them to.
So is that something that
But
should
that's
be
one
done?
time.
But is that something that should be done like one time during that 4-year contract? So maybe we can get them to throw
We've only done it once.
Right. So,
So we
but
don't-
will it need
Well,
to
now
be
that it's
done?
done, we shouldn't have to do it again because built into that contract as it stands now, it does say that they will do kind of superficial
As
billing
needed.
as needed.
Okay.
We also paid them $1,200 to fix the field at Plymouth Center School because we had vandalism. If you remember, somebody took a golf cart or a quad or something and tore up the field down there.
Okay.
So we paid them $1,200. In the end, we recouped the $1,200 from that family in the next fiscal year, but we paid them that money. So that's why you see it that way. In the next year, 2023-24, we had them redo and remodel the batting cage up here because what was up there, all of the the railroad ties and everything were either deteriorated or kicked out of the way, and all of the fill that was in there, they were pitching out of a hole, they were batting out it, so we had all that fixed. That was more for safety reasons than anything else. We paid $1,000 to them to trim the tree line and backfill where we were putting the fences. So we had them level it so that the fence would go in and there wasn't a big space underneath, and we had to cut back the brush in order to put the fencing where we wanted them to do. We had them clean the fence line in between the two screens at Eli Terry. So there's in left field, if you will, there's a 30-foot or 35-foot screen to keep the ball from going into the yards on the other side.
Right.
And then in between that is our boundary fence. Well, over time, that had all come overgrown, and we had stuff growing through the fences. It was pushing both of our fences both ways. So we paid them to clean that out. Oddly enough, within a month or two, we had a tree go down and take the whole thing down anyway, but insurance covered that. But that's what we had to do because we had literally tree branches coming through the fence and coming into the field. So we asked them to clean that out.
And is that part of like routine, like check-ins moving forward? So
Now it's routine. We kind of
It's
did it
routine.
one time, and now it's routine. And then we paid them $1,300 for Fisher to go through all three of the courtyards and clean out all the weeds and get all those back into shape. Because really, our custodial staff simply mows the lawn, but they become overgrown. And Brian and I have talked about alternatives to the courtyard. We would love to see something different. I just don't know how we ever do it. Because courtyards are nice, but they just look, unless you have somebody like you have a gardener every day, they just look
maybe
messy.
that could be one of the community involvements. We can start a little club, a little
Could be.
gardening
We just
courtyard club.
Need people to do it, right? I mean, so that's the additional money. So when you see the money, those are the things we're talking about. The other thing that's in that account from 23-24 was we purchased a tractor.
Oh,
We
okay.
replaced the tractor, and that was a big ticket item. We bought that at the end of the year based on the facility's need. And we used that tractor primarily for snow removal at all the 4 schools because with the exception of last year, we're responsible for the cleaning of all the sidewalks and so forth. So we have attachment that goes on the front, cleans the thing. But we also use that tractor for projects that we do internally that aren't part of the landscaping contract.
So most of those expenses were like, that's a one-time thing. We're
They're
not going to be seeing this every year, an extra $20,000,
Correct.
$50,000,
There are
$70,000.
things that come, they're one-time things that come up that we feel is in the best interest of the district to take care of. They're not gifts, they're not additional things, but these are all things that really kind of needed to be done. So we took care of those things. Last year, 2024-25, we had $4,068 extra. That's the fertilization of the fields. Actually, it's in the wrong account. It should be in our athletic field care line, but it ended up here.
Oh, I'm glad you said athletic fields, Caroline, because I had a question about that. So that grounds maintenance, that's this contract referring to the 155, but then there's 16,000 athletic area maintenance. Is that
Budgeted this
right?
year.
Is that
That's all fertilization for all of our fields. Weeds, it's for weed killing, fertilization, and so forth for all of the fields in the district.
so that's a different contract,
company.
not part of
It's not part of
this
White
one.
Man.
Okay,
Different company. It's
right, because they
it's-
need to have
it's
this
called Green
pesticide
Choice. It's called Green
certifications.
Choice. It's
Can you
the-
get them to throw some stuff on that corner by the solar fields? Like just bag them nicely to like weed whack over there?
It's not our property. It's in the same category as
Between you
I
and
know,
that corner
tree is still
and
down.
that tree, I was gonna say, you two
There's
with
one
those
about
things.
to come down on the lady's house right next door here. I could see it. It's that I stopped to talk to her because I talked to all my neighbors. But yeah, I'm assuming that's who owns that property that we complained to. It's
On
not
that
the
corner?
school, not the town. Who owns that solar field? It's not us, right?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know who owns the solar field.
You know, I know who will. I'm
Mark.
gonna get you the answer.
Mr.
Mark-
Sanchel will know.
Marty Sancho would know that.
No, he
Okay.
tried to get the tree done and nobody's taking ownership of it. The solar company, the town.
Thank you, Matt, for
Marty's been
clarifying
trying.
all that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So-
That tree's been down for over 2 years now.
There's about to be another one.
I know, you've been
She's not
telling me
wrong.
about it
It
for
hasn't
2
been
years,
too long.
Cindy.
So
I've heard
I
about
can-
it for 2 years.
I can safely say that when trees go down on our property, Jim is on them and we take care of them, we clear them. Because we don't want that public issue of, well, it's the school's tree and they didn't do anything about it. So we
So
take
can
it
you
down.
just go get the tree?
It's not our tree. So you can't set a precedent. Now I have to take care of everything.
You go get it if it bothers you so bad.
I'm about to. My husband got a chainsaw. I don't want to get arrested though.
Neither do we.
All right,
It
thank
does
you,
look like,
ma'am.
I don't know, cause it is the solar panels and then the sidewalk and a little patch of grass, like, I don't know who owns it. I would think whoever owns the solar panels.
Don't know.
I'm gonna work on it.
I know that we don't. Are there any other questions regarding the contract? I can summarize it really quick, right? So, I do have a correction is the contract in front of you goes for 26, 27, and 28. It says December 29, that would not be true. So it starts January of 26. December of 26 would be year one. December of 27 would be year two. December of 28 would be year three. That would be
That would be the ending of the contract.
And then there are 2 years of renewables at the end of the
Okay.
negotiated thing. But for the 3 years, it would end in 28.
Got it.
Right, all of 26, all of 27, all of 28. Wygant has proposed a $5,000 increase in year one, which is 2026. That $5,000 is a 3% increase over the current rate, which has been flat for the 4 years that they've been. And we haven't paid them one extra on the contract since they started 4 years ago. And it remains flat, the $5,000, and then it remains the same for the next 2. Which basically what we're saying is we're giving Wygant $5,000 over the course of 7 years. That's the overall increase, which if you want to do the math, it's 0.4, if you took it, it's 0.43% from the very first year all the way to 2028. They've done a good job. They're very easy to work with and they're very responsive. If we call Don, he's the kind of the general manager, he's here. And we can do it at the last minute where we suddenly have a playoff game and it got scheduled for Tuesday. The field needs to be cut and it needs to be lined. They're here and they take care of it.
Well, yeah, the last example I can give you is I went to Jim Maison today and I said, I'm walking in these schools, I see dead flowers in these pots that are in front and I want them all replaced. I want shrubs put in with some mulch and they're gonna take care of it by Monday. So that company's gonna come in, plant the shrub, and so we'll have a shrub in there, it will stay green all year round and we won't have dead flowers anymore.
So I will go on record to say that I recommend that you approve this, but it's in your hands. I think that we've negotiated a
The
good
lining and
deal.
extra, mowing, they charge you for, right? When you call them and
It's-
ask them.
It's in there, but they haven't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've just done it.
Oh, okay.
They haven't so far.
Snow removal is not included in this at all. That's a totally separate.
Snow
Issue.
removal is a bid that the town does annually, and it's open right now. We don't have any
But
input in
just to
that.
clarify, that's for only the parking lots and we are still responsible for the sidewalks, but now
That's
you
correct.
have that tractor that can.
Yes, and that is done by our maintenance and custodial staff on
And
Sundays.
is that an issue moving forward with this outside contract doing our maintenance
No.
thing? Like is there a higher cost to us because we're contracted out or is it the
Nope,
same
it's
amount that
remained the
we?
same. So what happens on a snow day
Uh-huh.
is our whole staff comes in early to start clearing sidewalks to make sure that we can get open for school. And typically what that means is we incur overtime for that work, right? Because they still have their regular jobs to do, but we budget for that. And in the custodial contract, we budgeted for that as well. It's part of their whole package.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, we're gonna just move on now. All right. Do we feel like we are looking to go forward with this company?
Yes. Honestly, I would say yes, because he alluded to the fact that when you put this out to bid the last time, only one company bid on it. And this is the company.
All right,
So
And they've done an excellent job.
I think it's a moot point if you're gonna wanna put it out to bid, because you could get a worse price than what's here right now.
And maybe it was.
Right. Thank you, question.
all right. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the landscaping contract with the Wygant Construction and Maintenance Services LLC for a period of 3 years from January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2028.
So moved.
Mr. Showers, Mr. Foote. Any further discussion? Okay. We are going to do a roll call vote on this one. Mr. Showers?
Yes.
Mr. Bourbonniere?
Yes.
Mr. Foote?
Yes.
Mrs. Kendrea Florenciani?
Yes.
Mr. Zabushka?
Yes.
Ms. Tilton?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Item number 9, new business, out-of-state field trip. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve an out-of-state field trip on September 26th, 2025 to the Eastern States Exposition in West Springfield, Massachusetts for band students grades 9 through 12 at Terryville High School.
So moved.
Ms. Tilton, second. Mr. Foote. Any discussion? We do this every year.
Why aren't they going on Connecticut Day, which is the 17th?
I don't think they get to choose. I think they have to,
Just curious.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask Mr. Keene that question.
yeah,
All the kids in Connecticut want to go on Connecticut
yeah,
Day.
probably.
Yeah, we might be by invitation.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. And this is informational only. Oh, Mr. Falco, go ahead. There's your name on there. I was gonna say, but
Oh,
policy revision.
so we have a minor policy revision. I didn't hold a policy committee meeting because it's literally one sentence. So what our coaches have found with our new reading program in Wit and Wisdom, there are times where kids are going to have to take books home. And what I'm hearing from the high school is that teachers need to assign some more readings at time. So we, in yellow, you see, I added with the exception of reading, which will follow the guidelines of the curriculum for Plymouth Center, Harry S. Fisher, Eli Terry, and the high school. It wasn't a big change. I thought I needed to hold a curriculum subcommittee, a policy subcommittee for. It was just the one change, but they are looking to change that, especially the coaches. When I sat with them in our original meeting starting the year, they were hoping to get this as soon as possible to change in the policy so they could assign readings that are appropriate based on the curriculum.
Okay, so that's a first read, so we'll vote on that next month. Item 10, business manager's report and personnel report. Mr. Tenza,
I'm still tired.
perk up.
Okay, so while I was initially slightly alarmed at the spending rates in July, excuse me, as you can see from the bar chart that we've evened off in August and we're kind of back to normal spending. And I'm pretty sure that people were pretty attentive to the fact that we froze the budget pretty early last year and they got all of their orders in real fast, so they didn't have to worry about that fact. As I stated in the written report that's in your packet, I'll give you a financial statement for food services for July, August, and September at the October meeting. And that's simply because we had 4 operating days in August. I don't have a lot to report other than we spent money on getting ready to open. So I'll have a better something to report to you actually at the next meeting. Regarding facilities, the gym flooring installation is underway. It's probably a little more than halfway installed. We're on target for the expected October completion. And then in addition, the classroom that was damaged where the flood originated is currently under renovation. We have put work on hold in that room, really for 2 reasons. One is, as we started to take things apart, we found that there was still some moisture there, so we called the insurance company back in. We wanted to make sure that we could get everything that we can out of them, and they needed to know. But also, we're doing a lot of outdoor work or things that are taking priority. We don't need that classroom right now, so we kind of put that on hold while we're using our resources elsewhere. The fencing is complete over at Plymouth Center, and as Brian already mentioned, we put a nice sandbox in for the kids to play in over there. Our maintenance staff built it themselves. It's made out of pressure treated 2x10 or 2x12 with seats, and it's filled with
Sand?
playground sand. Not your everyday beach sand.
Yeah.
So, and as Brian already mentioned, we are looking for some age-appropriate basketball hoops and maybe a soccer goal, so the kids have a little more to do in that space. And the bathrooms over at Fisher are complete, and they do look great. I think they've made a big difference with what we're doing over there. On the bigger project front here is the phone system has been installed. The phone system itself is working well. We obviously have some tweaks with making sure that voicemails are set up and extensions are going to the right place, but tech has been working hard to make sure that's all set. And we're still working on some bugs with the intercom system. As we talked in the facilities meeting, there has been a few bugs interface between our old intercom system and the new telephone system. But again, tech is working on that, and we should have that resolved pretty quickly. And just, as we talk about the intercom, it's been on our capital plan since 2014. So it's not surprising that there's some issues, but we're working on that. I can skip this whole next piece because I just covered it with the landscaping piece.
Yep.
But last month, Mr. Bobinier asked me to reach out to the construction company that did our parking lots here. And I had Jim Mazon do that. He spoke to Dennis Doyle over at Richards Construction, and that gentleman remembers our project, and he remembers that as it got to the end, that they felt pretty rushed, and they used a new asphalt recommended by the state, and it turned out to be not as reliable as it was, and he didn't know anything about the substrate. We didn't venture into that. But with that said, we did have a company come out and give us a quote to redo the parking lot, not including the substrate, because they wouldn't give us any information until they were pulled up what's there to see actually what's under and test underneath there. But to do the new parking lot here, entranceway and so forth, is $476,858. Budget number to use as we're having conversations. And a good educated guess is probably a $300,000 plus bill to pull out substrate, put in new material, compact it down appropriately, and go from there. So we have reached out to try to start to get numbers so that we can have better conversations with the Capital Improvement Committee. So we did reach out to them. Jim is still trying to get more information, but that's where we are so far. And then finally, I have one question of the board is when we went to Wygant, we held back a mower in the event that we needed for an emergency. If we had a sudden time that we would need to take care of a field real quick and they couldn't get here and so forth, we have a mower that's in storage. Wygant has offered to purchase that from us for $5,000. We've not used it in 4 years. What I'm asking is, are you okay with me selling this mower that we haven't used in 4 years to them for the $5,000? It's a fair price.
You're selling it as is, we're
As
not
is, we're not doing
responsible
anything
for
to it. They're gonna pull it
mouse
out of
guard
storage
on
and they're
it.
gonna take it and they're gonna start mowing our lawns with it.
Does it still
What
work
what
after
type of mower is it?
It's a zero-turn, like,
Skag?
riding mower. We had a few of them. We gave them to the town when we made the switch, but we kept this one just in case.
Works for
Why
me.
not?
Works for me.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
problem with it.
not my
Yeah,
department.
I mean, they're willing to buy it as is, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
With that, any questions?
Wait, is this the big pack of paper, ask questions time? This one?
You guys go away.
It's usually when Pat
You
and
guys like
Cindy
a conspiracy?
I know.
ask their,
My
it's usually
goal
when
for
Pat and Cindy
My
ask
goal
their
for this
questions.
year is to get better at the numbers, so I already got that one. That was the contact one.
Did
All
you
right.
go through his cheat sheet that he gives us? Cause that cheat sheet was
Yeah.
created for me.
No way. I have other
Well,
questions.
you and
This-
Pat.
Yeah,
You and
I just have other questions. I don't know if these are typos. So on page 5,
Hold on, let me get my copy.
sorry. I'm trying to like be good at numbers for you this year. That's my goal. That's my area of weakness.
So I offer you the same as I offered everybody else. If you want to come and meet with me, I'm happy to go.
I
through
am.
everything
We
very-
still got to get together so you can explain that ECS formula to me. You got like
Ugh.
full day. I had a question because it says like the school security personnel and $0 on the budget. Is that?
Yeah, it's in-
But I know we have it, so I don't
yeah,
know
it's-
why.
It's in the wrong category.
Okay.
So there's a. It's
That's what I
budgeted
thought.
elsewhere,
It was
so
a
it's in the wrong
typo,
category.
so I just wanted to point that out in case it was a
Mhm.
typo. That one I probably should bring up at another time. And then on page 9, the curriculum coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. Was that the position that we eliminated? Because that's not the same number. So I didn't know if we forgot to pull that off the.
No, the curriculum coordinator
Uh-huh.
is
The-
is
He's
the
a
curriculum
coach that we
director.
turned into that. The directors, we've
The
gotten rid of.
director's
Okay.
been
It's
eliminated.
a teaching
The
position to
coordinator is-
help with team and to help with,
I was just
mentoring and
confused
all
because
those
it's
pieces.
under, it's not like a coach at one of the schools, it's under the central
it
office
used to
category.
be, it used to be there. So that's where we had
So
certain
you just
coaches and
moved
that
it?
stayed there as the
Okay.
coordinator.
I
So,
figured it was probably a
yeah,
move or
it's a teaching
something.
position though. It's not administrative. That one
Okay.
was eliminated.
Then I have, where is it? On page 10, district consulting expense, and I'm sorry, I'm just always paranoid about consulting. Can you clarify what we're consulting on that one? It's $12,000.
So,
I'm sure it's something legit. I
well,
just,
no, I'm going to tell you, one of the things that happened when this year turned over, we lost some federal funding for a while. We thought we were going to lose some
Okay.
federal funding. And so on my desk, I had all of the professional developments that Kathleen arranged originally
okay.
with those funds. And what we did is I canceled some, so we have some credits
Okay.
to shift our priorities. That was a lot of the work that we had coming in to work with our administrative team with doing walkthroughs through schools and classrooms and kind of calibrating our lens. Completely canceled it because we thought we were going to lose the other funds. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what we're going to have in the future, what we're not going to have, and prioritizing it. So that money
That's
right now.
not part of like training for the wit and wisdom. That's not the.
No, that the wit and wisdom came from a lot of the grant money that we lost. So
Okay.
now what I did is I tried to pull that money together to make sure that we had those expenses to pay. And even off of your recommendation the other day on the IXL, I'm sending 4 people, including an administrator, to the training down in Shelton.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and just so that you know, it's in addition, that may be where Brian decides, and I'm using a couple of years ago example, is we had a coach for a new administrator. And that's where we we budget money so that we can do things like that.
Okay. All right, there's a company that is a consulting company that I don't want us to be paying anywhere. I just want to make sure it's not them. And then at the bottom, the dues for CABE and others. I know we have all the dues, but are we members of CABE again, or that's different?
We are still not members of CABE unless the board wants to become members
I was
again.
going to say that's not enough to pay dues to them, right? Not
No,
even close.
The money here is in the event, we budgeted money in the event that members of the board would go to CABE.
Okay.
We still have to pay for
Pay
it.
for it, right?
We may or may
Okay.
not go, but if we do choose to, there was some money there to cover.
There's somebody to cover it.
And off of that conversation, based on when the election's happening this year, I did not plan on going to CABE this year. If the board feels differently, just please let me know. I just need to know if people are interested in attending. But I did not plan on going this year just based on the election, the number of people that are up for election. I know some of people are automatically going to be a part of it because they're running uncontested in the election. But I just need direction on what to do with CABE this year because it's kind of a unique year.
I would like to attend. I get a lot out of going, but I don't want to be the only one going.
When is CABE?
If it's not on my parent-teacher conferences
It's
again.
it's in November.
It's usually the second or third.
It's right around It's around Thanksgiving. It's like the weekend.
It's before that. Hold
It's
on.
the Friday
It's the
before
weekend I'm always
Thanksgiving, I
in
want to say.
Florida.
You know, it's usually the Friday of my parent-teacher conferences.
But Cindy, you wouldn't be there
No.
because
I
the
booked
election
my
will
Florida
already
trip
happen.
earlier since I knew I wouldn't be going.
It's probably gonna be November 14, 15, is my guess.
So you probably have to bring that up at the November meeting if anybody's interested, because some of us might not be.
Well, that's the issue. And then, but
Right.
by the time that meeting happens, it's so
So
close.
late,
I
yeah.
didn't know.
So late.
So again, if Kelly, if you want to go in, and I think you're running uncontested this year in the election. I mean, those are things I'd be happy to set up. I mean, I'll obviously go as well, but it's up to the board if we want to move forward with that or not this year. And then if we want to stay overnight or not for the 2-day conference, or if we just want to go for the day on Friday. You could email me on.
Get back.
Yeah,
You could
let's,
email me on the side and then I could set that
Yeah.
up. That's not a problem.
usually we do that at the October meeting too. if we
Yeah.
Give,
Okay.
you know,
That was all
checks
the
or
sticky
whatever.
notes.
Feels
I'm
like it's
trying,
October.
Matt, to
That's fine.
look at those numbers. Sorry.
November's coming.
Nobody else? What? Are you making fun of me over
He
there?
just, he just called you Pat Junior.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
No,
Oh, Lou did.
Lou did.
Sorry. I'm really tired right now.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
See?
You're so
Alright.
patient over there.
I know, I've been pretty quiet. Looking at the capital improvements needs for 5 years, okay? Mrs. Church alluded to it, that I guess there's a meeting tomorrow night concerning capital improvements. Are we going?
We didn't know about it till today.
We found out about it about 2:00 this afternoon.
Alright.
And the only reason that we even knew about it is because I asked Robin Kubichowskis to track down as much information as she could, because I was trying to follow the policy that they adopted in January, because there's a bunch of forms that need to be filled out. And as we talked in the facilities meeting earlier today, one of the things that I will be doing now, because I got the agreement to do so, is for everything that's on our list, there's gonna be one of these, so that we present to the capital improvement plan in this budget year, so they know exactly what we're looking for. Because right now, even though we provide them with the information, I don't necessarily think there's a spotlight on it.
Yeah, and in facilities, Jerry, we talked about how I'm writing a formal letter to the committee asking for an invitation for us to go to them. Or as Greg said, maybe they could come to us and come to our committee meeting and have a discussion about our concerns over the millions of dollars in items that are needed in our schools, that are town buildings, that haven't made the bond package or haven't been discussed, even though we've brought them to their attention. So I'm gonna write a formal letter to them.
And to answer your question, had I known earlier, then I would be attending tomorrow, but I can't, I have another engagement that tomorrow night.
So if I went, would be a moot point to
No,
bring
feel
this
free to
up.
go.
No,
You know
go.
what? I would, if you have time to go, I would encourage you to go so that
Yeah.
we have some representation.
Jerry, so my wife is out of town, so I have to be home for my daughter tomorrow, or I would attend.
Oh, that's
But
fine.
if you're going to go, maybe we could touch base after this. You could stop here and we can give you all of the right paperwork to either hand out or distribute or discuss, so you don't have any questions going into it.
Because the concern I have is like what Pat said in our last meeting, is that you can't see our roofs. Like anything else, we can use the old adage, you can't see it from my house. Well, I can't see it from my house, definitely because I'm not looking at the school's roofs. All right, so, and my question is that in the 3 roof replacements, we have an estimate of 2024 for Eli Cherry, estimate.
That's a typo. They should all be 2024.
I know, I get it. All right, but the thing is that, and this is, I don't think what people understand, how old are these roofs?
I'll have to get you the exact dates. They're all a little bit different, but I came here in 2020. Those roofs were end of life then.
Well, and a portion of Fisher's roof is original.
Yes.
Okay, so in all honesty, we're probably looking at, we've outgrown the expectancy of our roofs, which is probably good, because if we had to replace them every 30 years and now we're replacing them 50 years, we're getting an additional 20 years on that roof and saving us money. But at some point in time,
It's not saving you money anymore.
correct. Okay, so, and the issue is, and which, and even Pat even tried to allude it to, is that we're waiting for an accident to happen, and what are we gonna do when that accident happens and we can't fix it
Yes.
appropriately?
And Jerry, also, when I said in that, at the earlier meeting today, is those numbers don't include the removal, the lost production, and the reinstatement of all the solar that's on all the roofs. You have to add probably another $200K per building
Easily.
to that number. And the solar company comes and gives us that number, because they're the only ones that can handle their
Yes, correct,
equipment.
$170,000
So
per
in
building.
addition, you have to think 3 buildings, right, that's another 600,000 on top of last year's estimates, where it probably went up 5%, fair.
could be even more than that
Could be, but
because
I'm
of
just
the,
trying, conservatively fair, right,
well, depending on where the material is coming from.
could
it
be significantly more.
Yes, it could be. You're looking at some of the tariffs that are going on with the United States, and you're looking at anywhere between 10 and 50%, depending
Right.
on which country you're dealing with. So, I mean, this could be an astronomical amount of money because of the fact that we prolonged the agony.
Agreed.
Okay, so,
And I think the frustrating part for us, we were the first ones that went to the Capital Improvement Committee that met since COVID. So we were the first group in front of them. And we go in front of them and they were wonderful. They were wonderful. They were there, and they said to us, we have to work on our process and protocol and procedure on how to make this happen. And then Kelly sends a screenshot to, I think, myself or Matt, of the new forms they decided to use that they never sent us. And then we tried to find the forms and we couldn't find forms. We finally found the forms because Pat Perugino went over to the town hall and got the forms and delivered them to us. But the forms aren't on the computer for us to fill out. So we have to recreate the forms so we could submit the appropriate form to the Capital Improvement Committee. But yet they created a bond package without putting any of our items in there. So there's a lot of frustration on our part because I feel like it's the school's problem, the school has to deal with it, but these are town buildings and they have to be maintained by the town. So it's a bit frustrating right now, and I'm not trying to create a divide. It's the last
Not at
thing I'm
all.
trying to do. I just feel like we have needs that need to be addressed. So, as we've spoken about.
yeah.
And you and Pat argued about the same thing last
Well,
meeting.
we were on the same page, just in a different pew, that's all. I mean, but in all honesty, I mean, we have to do something because these roofs have technically, other than probably this building here, this building's only probably
18.
Well, actually, yeah, depending on when the roof got installed, which is more than like the first thing
Probably
that
20
happened.
years, right? This is probably 20 years now.
20 years, so it's still within the life expectancy of the roofing company that put the roof on it. Okay,
Yes.
but the other buildings, we just need to do something. So, I mean, if you want to give me some information, and I'll gladly go to that meeting tomorrow. What time is that meeting?
5:30
5:30? Okay, not a problem.
in the
I'll bring
mayor's
dinner.
conference room.
I'll bring dinner.
Yeah,
I
we'll
might
talk-
be able to join you for half an hour. I think the open house starts at 6:30, so I can
Okay.
deliver
I'll
with
touch
you.
base with you, and we'll set up a time for you to come in tomorrow, and we'll go through it.
All right, not a problem.
Thank you. Kelly, you too, if you can't come in tomorrow, but we can kind of keep you in the loop, and Jerry can kind of fill you in.
I can stay for like half an hour.
Anyone else? Questions for Matt? All right, moving on to personnel report, Mr. Falcone.
The only thing I'll say is if there's any special ed teachers, or if you know any special ed teachers, we are in desperate need for some special ed teachers in our district, and also 0.5 speech and language, and any paraprofessionals. No,
Not speech and language, it's paraprofessionals.
okay, then no speech and language, but paraprofessionals as well. We are still short. So if you know people that are looking for employment, we have openings. So please have them reach out.
I think that's a universal
I know.
sentiment across districts.
I know. That's unfortunate.
We're looking to.
Yep. And it's not getting any better.
No. All right, item number 11, committee meetings. The special meeting of the Facilities Committee met at 6:30 p.m. prior to the board meeting and discussed the following. I'm saying this because Mr. Perugino wasn't there anyway. The priorities of the capital improvement 5-year plan and the needs of the district. Nope, that's it. That's one item. We've talked about that since then too, so. All right, no other committees met. On to item 12, public comment. We are back to in-person public comment first. Does anyone have anything else to add to our conversation? No? No? Okay. Any online? No? All right. Board liaison reports. Harry S. Fisher Elementary School.
Pat's not here and I didn't go, so
No, that's okay.
I have nothing to report. I don't think they've actually met yet. I think their meeting is next week.
Yeah,
I
that's,
could be mistaken, but I believe
that makes
the
sense.
schedule is the same.
All right, Plymouth Center School.
Okay, they're running a contest for the classroom PTA membership contest, and it's gonna run through September. The winning class teacher wins $200 to shop Scholastic catalog for the class, and the kids get an ice cream. Then there's gonna be a PTA vote on October 14th for the approval of the PTA budget. Bingo is September 26th. And I think the student representatives are really enthusiastic. They were great.
Good.
They really were.
Excellent.
That's it.
Eli Terry Junior Middle School.
Okay, I went to that one. Okay, so this year the sixth grade for an orientation, they came in the day before school started for like an hour and a half, 2-hour window where it was just the sixth graders. They got to tour their classes, tour the school, practice opening their lockers, and according to Darren and everyone else, it was very helpful to get the kids, get some of the nerves out of the kids. So that went very well. The open house is tomorrow from 6 to 8. Picture day will be October 10th. And just to remind everybody that In a Heartbeat is coming on October 7th at THS from noon to 5, ages 8 to 18. They do like a heart scan and check. Great idea, especially if you have a student athlete. We talked over some fundraising ideas.
I think it's 2 to 5.
I thought she said noon. Did I have the wrong hours? That's what I wrote down, but I could have.
Yeah, no, I
written
think it's 2 to 5, but
2 to 5.
well,
Okay,
off the top of my
I
head, I
apologize.
apologize.
So 2 to 5, my bad. And then there will be, they discussed having 2 dances or kind of dance-ish for middle school. So there will be a Boo Bash on October 24th, which is the week before Halloween. So that won't interfere with plans. They meet on the fourth Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. So the next meeting is September 25th.
Right. Terryville High School.
We haven't met yet.
Okay. And did anyone attend Ed Advance? No. Okay. Board comments. Mr. Showers.
I'm all set.
Okay. Mr. Bourbonniere.
Well, welcome to the new school year. Welcome to the existing student rep and the new student rep, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Okay. Mr. Foote.
No comment.
Mr. Zabushka.
Got nothing, except I was really impressed with the two student representatives. They were really into it.
Livened it up a little.
Yeah, they did.
Cindy.
I have the same thing. Fallon and Tiana did a great job with their presentation tonight. The October 7th, that's going to be open to children and the public, correct?
It actually is right now. I just have no way to communicate that. But we're going to put it on social media as you asked me and emailed me right after I sent the information out to the board. Yes.
And
So I'm going to make another note to myself to figure out how we could get it on social media to let people know, because the registration is kind of open. It's open at all the schools that they do this at. They don't just limit it to the one school. So I know they're doing it in Thomaston as well. So if the date didn't work for someone in Terryville, they have the right to go register in Thomaston. The company just wants any and all kids to come to get tested. So it doesn't matter where they're from.
Right.
So town lines.
I know two people that registered for Thomaston when they saw the different dates that were available.
Yeah.
So that was really good. But yeah, you can make that public.
Yep.
And then I know that you said it's a luxury to have multiple languages offered in the district, which it is a luxury, but being somebody that travels a lot in other countries, if you're not bilingual, you are considered lower class of the society. And also a lot of job postings are asking for bilingual people, and they will take somebody bilingual before an English only speaking person. So I don't know why in America in general that being bilingual is not as important, but I think that it is pretty important, so I just wanted to say that.
Cool discussion of that one. Ms. Tilton.
I just want to thank you for all the work you put into that strategic improvement plan. I know that's a lot of effort and it's hard to maintain that vision far out down the road. So I applaud you for putting so many pieces together, and I look forward to reading it more. I just want to apologize to everybody for being late. I had a work commitment, so I'm very sorry about that. And welcome to the new school year. It seems like everything is off to the great start. So that's it.
All right. I have nothing to add as well. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you to our public who attended. The next regular meeting of the Plymouth Board of Education is on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the cafeteria at Terryville High School. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:45 p.m.
So moved.
Mr. Showers,
Second.
Ms. Kendrea Florenciani. I have to put all your initials here. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Something every day.